Walk into any electronics store in 2025, and it's not shopping anymore. It's sensory warfare. Rows of glowing screens scream at you from every direction, each one brighter, sharper, and more quantum than the last. You stand there surrounded by labels that sound like alien technology. OLED, QLED, Mini LED, Quantum 9, Infinity Black, AI Picture Engine Pro Max Ultra. At this point, you're not buying a TV, you're buying a science experiment. A salesman appears out of nowhere with that confident grin. He talks fast, throws out acronyms like confetti, and points at a price tag that could pay half your rent. And there you are, thinking, if I press the wrong button, I might spend $1,500 on a mistake I'll stare at for the next decade. Yeah, we've all been there. Let's get one thing straight. The TV industry isn't selling clarity, it's selling confusion. Because confusion makes money. Every year, they add a new buzzword to convince you your perfectly good 4K TV is suddenly outdated. And right now, the big marketing war is between OLED and QLED, 2 letters apart, thousands of dollars in difference, and a mountain of marketing nonsense in between. So today, we're tearing the curtain down. No fluff, no nerd speak, no brand worship, just the truth about which one actually deserves your wall, your wallet, and your attention. Because when you strip away the showroom tricks, the flashing labels, and the fake innovation, only one of these screens is actually worth it. Let's start with the basics, the light battle. Forget the jargon. Here's the simplest way to understand it. OLED means every pixel is its own light source. Think of it as millions of microscopic light bulbs that can turn completely off. When the screen shows black, those pixels literally shut down. No light, no gray, just nothing. It's so dark that sometimes you can't tell if the TV's even on. QLED, on the other hand, is like an orchestra of pixels that still needs a conductor. A giant backlight behind the screen that shines through color filters. It's bright, powerful, and impressive, but it can't go fully dark. So when OLED gives you pure black, QLED gives you darkish gray. It's like comparing a candle to a flashlight. Both light the room, but one kills the mood. And that difference? It's massive. When you watch an OLED in a dark room, it feels like the picture floats in midair. Shadows melt into the wall, the border disappears. It's not watching, it's experiencing. People talk about infinite contrast like it's just a marketing term. It's not. It's the thing that makes your favorite movie scene hit harder, look deeper, and feel more alive. But before you crown OLED the king, not so fast. Because here's the twist. QLED might not have those deep blacks, but it brings the sun. OLED is the romantic candlelight dinner. QLED is a stadium floodlight at noon. It's brighter, bolder, and made for chaos, like kids watching cartoons with windows wide open or Sunday football blasting in daylight. OLED looks gorgeous in the dark. QLED looks unbothered in the sun. So already, this battle isn't just about technology, it's about you, your habits, your space, your lighting, your life. Let's cut through one more myth before we go deeper. You don't need a PhD to buy a TV. You just need to understand one thing. Every new feature you see, from quantum dots to dynamic tone mapping, is designed to make their profits bigger, not your picture. Because if you actually understood how little these differences matter in real life, you'd probably keep your old TV another 5 years. And that's bad for business. So in this war between OLED and QLED, the first rule is simple. Don't listen to who yells louder. Look at who shows you less. Because that's usually the one with something to hide. Let's talk about contrast, the holy grail of picture quality. If your screen can't make black look black, everything else falls apart. And this is where OLED wipes the floor with almost everything else on the market. When an OLED shows black, it's not pretending. Each pixel just dies, gone. No light leak, no fake gray, no cheating. It's digital silence. Watching a dark scene on a good OLED feels like standing in a cave with one candle. You see the light, but you also feel the darkness around it. That's what makes your favorite movie suddenly feel cinematic. People say, you can't see true black without OLED. They're right, because even the best QLEDs, no matter how fancy the quantum dot or mini LED label, can't turn off light completely. They're like an overenthusiastic flashlight that refuses to stop shining. The result? Glowing edges, washed out shadows, and black that looks like charcoal, not ink. But then comes the sun. Now, let's flip the switch. Because OLED's worst enemy isn't QLED, it's daylight. Imagine your living room on a Saturday afternoon. Curtains open, sunlight bouncing off the floor, and your OLED TV trying to fight back like a vampire at noon. That beautiful, perfect black? Gone. That subtle shadow detail? Drowned in glare. This is where QLED fights back like it's fueled by caffeine and spite. It's bright. Not, oh, that's nice. Bright. Retina punching, sunglasses in your own house bright. You want to watch a game at noon? Done. A cooking show with every window open? Bring it. A QLED doesn't care about sunlight. It eats it for breakfast. With peak brightness hitting 2,000 to 3,000 nits, QLEDs don't just show you the picture, they show it to the neighbors across the street. And unlike OLED, QLED handles reflections like a champ. The anti-glare coatings, the powerful backlight, they keep that image visible even in the brightest rooms. So while OLED dominates dark rooms, QLED rules the daylight. Two different screens, two different lifestyles, the burn-in boogeyman. Now let's address the myth that refuses to die. Burn-in. If you've ever hesitated to buy an OLED, someone probably whispered it in your ear like a ghost story. Don't do it. You'll get burn-in. Let's get real. Yes, OLED can technically retain static images over time, like news tickers, channel logos, or that FIFA scoreboard your son leaves on pause for 6 hours. But modern OLEDs have evolved. They've got pixel shifting, automatic refresh cycles, and AI that manages brightness like a pro. I've seen OLEDs run 3, 4, even 5 years of daily use without a single ghost mark. You'd have to treat your TV like a wallpaper display to actually ruin it. Meanwhile, QLED doesn't have that problem because its pixels never turn off. They're constantly backlit, which makes it less delicate but also less precise. So if you're the type who leaves CNN running 24/7, QLED is your safer bet. But if you treat your TV like a piece of art instead of background noise, OLED will serve you faithfully for years. Motion and gaming. Speed versus shine. Now, gamers, listen up. This part decides your fate. OLED reacts instantly. When you move your controller, the screen moves with you. No lag, no blur, no ghosting. It's like the pixels read your mind. That instant response time makes gaming buttery smooth. QLED, it's good, really good. But not blink and you miss it good. There's always that tiny millisecond of delay, that faint motion blur you might not even notice, unless you've seen OLED first. That's why hardcore gamers worship OLED. It's not just about pretty colors, it's about feeling connected. When you dodge a hit or pull off a perfect combo, that precision feels alive. Now, both can do 120 Hz. Both support VRR, G-Sync, and all that fancy alphabet soup. But when you see an OLED in action, you get it. It's the difference between watching a car race and driving in it. Viewing angles, the family test. Here's one thing reviewers rarely talk about: the living room test. Because not everyone sits dead center. Some sit off to the side. Some sprawl on the couch. Some stand in the kitchen yelling, "What did he just say?" With QLED, the magic fades once you move off center. Colors start to wash out, blacks turn gray, and your premium screen suddenly looks like a cheap hotel TV. OLED doesn't do that. You can be sitting at a 60-degree angle and still get the same picture. That's why it's the favorite of big families and wide couches. You don't fight over the best seat. Every seat looks good. So far, we've got a war of opposites. OLED wins the night, QLED wins the day, OLED wins precision, QLED wins protection. But which one actually deserves your money? So, now that we've torn through the marketing fog, let's talk about the actual players in this war. Because not all OLEDs are created equal, and some QLEDs are about as premium as a gas station hot dog wrapped in gold foil. Let's start with the OLED empire: LG, Sony, and Samsung. LG C4, the default winner. If there was ever a TV that didn't need to shout, it's this one. The LG C4 is the kind of TV that quietly walks into the room, sits down, and everyone else stops talking. It's clean, fast, bright enough for most rooms, and dark enough to swallow your soul. LG's been making OLEDs for over a decade, and they've nailed the formula. This thing has that contrast, that fluid motion, and none of the usual OLED drama. Gaming? Smooth. Movies? Gorgeous. Sports? Surprisingly crisp for OLED. It's not the brightest screen in the galaxy, but unless your living room looks like a greenhouse at noon, you'll be fine. Think of it as the sweet spot. Not too fancy, not too fragile, just right. This is the buy it and forget about it TV. If someone tells you they researched for weeks, odds are they ended up buying this one, Sony A95L, the show-off. And then there's Sony, the diva of the OLED world. The A95L isn't just a TV, it's a statement piece, the kind of screen that makes guests whisper, "What the hell is that?" Sony uses what's called QD-OLED, basically OLED that went to art school. You get those perfect blacks plus colors so rich they could make a bag of Skittles blush. It's cinematic, it's vivid, and it's bright enough to close the gap with QLEDs. Watch Avatar 2 or Dune on this thing and you'll start questioning reality. It's that surreal. But there's one catch: the price. This TV doesn't cost an arm and a leg, it costs a kidney. It's the "I just refinanced my house for this picture" kind of expensive. Do you need it? Number? Do you want it the second you see it? Absolutely. The A95L isn't the rational choice, it's the emotional one. It's for people who don't just watch movies, they host screenings. Samsung S95D, the Rebel. Now let's talk Samsung. If Sony is the artist, Samsung is the rock star who doesn't follow rules. The S95D is Samsung's version of QD-OLED, but with a twist. It's louder, bolder, more saturated. It's like your TV drank an energy drink before turning on. Colors pop harder, brightness gets a bump, and the whole image feels electric. But it also comes with that Samsung personality. You know, tons of settings, overconfident marketing, and the eternal refusal to support Dolby Vision. Yeah, in 2025, they still don't do it. It's like buying a Ferrari that refuses to drive in second gear. But make no mistake, this TV is still a beast. It's sleek, bright, lightning fast, and perfect for gamers who love aggressive tone mapping. It's not accurate, but it's fun. If Sony is a museum piece, Samsung is a nightclub. Samsung QN90D, the family tank. Now let's shift to QLED territory. And the reigning champ of practicality is the Samsung QN90D. This thing isn't elegant, it's indestructible. It's the family favorite of the TV world. Bright enough for sunlight, durable enough for kids, and smart enough to just work. You can leave YouTube on for hours, crank the brightness, and nothing will burn, fade, or glitch. And the best part? Samsung finally figured out how to make QLEDs look decent from wide angles. Not perfect, but way better than before. This is the TV you buy when you want peace of mind, not perfection. It's the minivan of screens, not sexy, but it always gets you where you need to go. Hisense U8N, the underrated underdog. Now let's talk about the sleeper hit, the Hisense U8N. This TV is what happens when a budget brand gets angry at being underestimated. It's bright, dangerously bright. We're talking 2000 nits, mini LED, and color accuracy that punches way above its price tag. It's not luxury, it's revenge. You don't buy this to impress guests. You buy it because it gives you 90% of the performance for 50% of the cost. It's not perfect, a bit of blooming around text, occasional OS lag, but for the price, it's wild. Think of it as the blue-collar hero of TVS. It works hard, doesn't complain, and punches way above its weight class. TCL QM8, the quiet threat. And finally, the TCL QM8. This thing is the reason the big brands are sweating. TCL went from being that cheap brand to, wait, why is this $1,200 TV competing with my $2,500 one? Mini LED, killer brightness, surprisingly solid contrast, and enough local dimming zones to make older QLEDs look outdated. Sure, the software can feel sluggish at times, but the picture quality? Chef's kiss. It's the kind of TV that makes your neighbor regret spending double, and that's the sweet kind of revenge money can buy. So here's the brutal truth. If you want perfect darkness, deep emotion, and the cinematic feel, go OLED. If you want practical brightness, family-proof durability, and a better price-to-performance ratio, go QLED. But don't let anyone tell you one is universally better. They're not enemies, they're personalities. OLED is the artist, fragile but brilliant. QLED is the athlete, powerful and consistent. Choose your fighter. So here we are, the end of the great TV debate. OLED versus QLED. It's not a war of good versus evil, it's a war of expectations versus reality. Because the truth is, both sides are lying to you, just in different ways. The big picture, they don't show you. The TV industry doesn't sell televisions anymore. It sells insecurity. That feeling that what you already have isn't good enough. That your 4K looks old, that your living room isn't keeping up with the future. Every year, they dangle a new word in front of you. Quantum, Neo, Infinity, AI Pro, Nano, Hypervision. And every year, the story's the same. Your wallet gets lighter, your picture looks the same, and your new TV feels outdated before your popcorn's cold. But here's what they'll never admit. A great TV isn't the one that impresses your guests. It's the one you forget you're even watching. When the tech disappears and the story takes over, that's when you've won. So, what should you actually buy? Let's cut through it once and for all. If you mostly watch at night, care about cinematic perfection, and want those velvet blacks that swallow your soul, go OLED. Get something like the LG C4 or Sony a 95L and call it a day. You'll spend more, but every movie night will feel like magic. If you've got a bright living room, kids, sunlight, or you just want something tough that works anytime, anywhere, QLED's your warrior. A Samsung QN90D, Hisense U8N, or TCL QM8 will handle the chaos, the glare, and the weekend marathons without breaking a sweat. Don't let specs decide, let your life do it. Because at the end of the day, your living room is not a lab, it's where life happens. And the best TV is the one that fits your kind of chaos. The illusion of next year. TV companies love one word more than any other. Next generation, next level, next big thing. But what they really mean is next payment. They want you chasing the next buzzword forever. 8K, QD-OLED, Micro LED, Super Quantum AI Picture Master. It never ends because the goal isn't progress, it's profit. But you don't have to play that game. You can step off the treadmill. Because here's the real secret. 4K isn't outdated, it's mature. The panels are perfected, the prices are fair, and the differences you see on a wall of TVs vanish the moment you sit down with a bowl of popcorn. Your eyes don't care about the pixel race. They care about experience, the philosophy of the frugal buyer. Being frugal doesn't mean being cheap. It means refusing to pay for illusion. It's knowing the difference between new and better, between advertised features and actual improvement, between what's marketed to your ego and what's made for your eyes. So the next time you walk into that glowing showroom, remember, you're not just shopping for a screen, you're walking through a hall of mirrors. Some reflect truth, most reflect marketing. Your job isn't to find the shiniest one, it's to find the one that stops trying so hard to impress you. The bottom line. OLED versus QLED, they're both incredible, but neither deserves your blind loyalty. Buy smart, buy once, and buy for your life, not the label on the box. Because your money deserves more than marketing, it deserves meaning. So next time you see that showroom glow calling your name, remember, it's not light you're seeing, it's just another brand trying to sell you a brighter lie. Don't fall for it again. Hit subscribe, stay sharp, and join Frugal CHOISE, where we expose what others just advertise.